Good Friday afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's weather forecast, we're going to be going over your guys' fall forecast for 2024. And obviously, take all this with a grain of salt because we do not know exactly how fall will play out. But obviously, this is something that we could be seeing. So we definitely will be letting you guys know about how fall could play out. So let's start off with the temperature anomalies, and this will be your overall fall temperatures, and this is pretty much what we're most confident about. Okay, so this blue shaded color that you see across the entire northern United States, this is where we're most confident in below average temperatures this fall, and that's because we'll have this jet stream far up to the north, which will help that cold air ride this jet stream, bringing all of the northern United States in that below average temperature range. And then the Gulf of Mexico will likely bring a lot of warm air to the southeast, and will likely even try to surge in farther to the west, and as well as the southwest United States. And that is something that we're also going to need to be watching for out here in the eastern Pacific, as we could be seeing some warm air around, but because we won't be seeing that tropical jet stream, that is going to be, like I said, going to be making it easier for that warm air to surge on through. But I don't think we're going to be seeing much in the way of warmer conditions across the eastern Pacific, because, like I said, we're going to be in a La Nina, so it's going to be more of this Gulf of Mexico moisture, which is likely going to be surging out to the west as well as it does surge into the southeast. So that's what we pretty much expect. Now, let's look at your precipitation for this fall. There's going to be your overall precipitation forecast, and we got 3 areas of above average precipitation that we're watching for. So we got the northwest, and with the second dark green color right there, that indicates that we are more confident in above average precipitation in that area, because almost every La Nina we have had above average precipitation across the northwest, and so we're even more confident that this La Nina will bring that jet stream exactly on top of these areas. So if you do live in Washington, Oregon, Northern California, Northern Nevada, Idaho, and as well as Western Montana, this is where we could really be seeing well above average precipitation. So flooding is definitely going to be on the more likely side of things. And same goes as we head towards the southeast. This is where we're expecting some very active tropics, which is likely going to be bringing a lot of rainfall to these areas. And not only do we expect active tropics, but we could even be seeing severe weather events this fall season. And the reason why is because there's usually a second severe weather season each year, which the first one is usually in spring, but there's also a second one that is usually in the fall time. So since we will be getting towards that second severe weather season during fall, that's where we really do expect there to also be above average precipitation due to a lot of severe weather potentially. And then a little bit far to the north, we got that last area. We're not super confident about all this area seeing above average precipitation, but I'm just putting it on there to let you guys know that this jet stream could very well impact these areas, because for a typical La Nina jet stream, like I said, most of them usually head towards the northwest, and either they dip all the way down here, or they pretty much stay north of the south and pretty much move through the Ohio Valley. So there's a few places this jet stream could really go this fall. But like I said, we aren't super confident yet in above average precipitation across the Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and into the Northeast. But we will definitely be keeping an eye on that this fall. And then down here towards the Southwest, I really forgot to put that dry word on there, but we do expect this yellow area, so Southern California, Southern Nevada, pretty big portion there of Arizona, really expected to be drier than normal normal, as we will likely, be seeing some warmer temperatures surge in. Like I said, a lot of this Gulf of Mexico moisture will likely push out to the west due to the jet stream blocking it from coming up to the north. So again, that is definitely going to be something that we do really need to be keeping an eye on this fall. Now, let's go ahead and look at your guys' severe weather forecast, okay? And as you guys can see, for the severe weather forecast, starting off with this red color, okay? If you live in this red color, you got a chance of seeing severe weather, okay? So you definitely need to be watching very closely if you live in this red color. Not a high chance, but at least a chance across the mid-Atlantic, and into parts of the northern plains, southern plains, and as well as the mid-south will likely be the areas to be watching for at least some severe weather. But like I said, it is not going to be as high as a chance as we are expecting in this pink color. So if we look at this pink color that you see, this pink color is a likely risk of severe weather, okay? This is where we're more confident in seeing severe weather this severe weather season. So we definitely got to be watching this fall very closely, like I said, because again, we do have a second severe weather season each year, which again will be during fall, and this is where we're a little bit more confident in seeing severe weather during the second severe weather season of the year, and that does include parts of Nebraska, heading towards parts of Kansas, into southern Missouri, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, into central and western Kentucky, northern Tennessee, northern Arkansas, and as well as parts of northern Oklahoma, likely to see a little bit more in the way of severe weather this fall. And then as we get to the purple color, okay, we got two areas that we're watching closely, okay? We got one across the Central Plains, heading from southern South Dakota all the way down into the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas, but especially down here towards Dixie Alley, so Florida, southern Georgia, into parts of Alabama, Mississippi, and as well as Louisiana. You guys have the highest risk of seeing severe weather this fall, and so that is definitely going to be the areas to watch the closest this fall, as we will likely see a lot of tropical waves, tropical storms, and as well as hurricanes move through, because again, we do expect some very active tropics, but again, we could even be seeing some major severe weather events down here too as well. So that's the reason why we are very confident in this area, but we also are very confident about the Central Plains, not necessarily because of Tornado Alley, but more because, we will be seeing that Gulf of Mexico moisture surging in, and again, that jet stream, if it does dip a little bit farther down to the south, it kind of does block that moisture from, being able to get a little bit far to the north, which isn't, true with every jet stream. It really depends on how strong it is. But like I said, we do expect a lot of that moisture to also be surging in into parts of the Central Plains. And, of course, that cold air up to the north could very well collide. So that's something we will be watching for this severe weather season. Like we said, we are most confident about this area, but still very confident about the Central Plains also seeing severe weather. But it could definitely turn out to be a completely different story than what I just told. Like I said, take this with a grain of salt. This is nothing like what we're going to be seeing this fall. This is just, an educated guess on what we could be seeing. So again, obviously take all of this with a grain of salt. Now, let's look at your overall forecast, okay? Starting off with the northwest, okay? Because we will be seeing that jet stream in play, and because we expect below average temperatures, it will likely be snowy throughout the fall, especially in the higher elevations. So overall, we can expect some snowy conditions here across the northwest. But a little bit farther down to the south is where we do expect there to be some dry and as well as some warm conditions. Like I said, that Gulf of Mexico moisture will likely surge in out here in the southwest too as well, bringing some dry and as well as warm moist air to this area, which will likely be a dry and warm winter. So you guys in the southwest will really feel a lot different kind of winter, while The higher elevations may get a little bit of snowfall, but definitely a little bit more drier than usual because, again, we will not have that southern jet stream. We will have that a little bit farther up to the north. And now, if we look at this teal color, this includes parts of the Central Rockies, okay? This is where we expect there to be normal fall snow, especially in the higher elevations. This is where we typically see fall snowfall is in this area right here, but again, especially in the higher elevation. So pretty typical, fall snow is going to be possible across these areas, as you guys can see. And same goes for parts of the northern plains, okay? So the Dakotas will be one of the areas to be watching for. We will likely be active early, okay? So we will likely be active early with, a lot of severe weather throughout severe weather season during the month of fall. Like I said, we do have that second severe weather season in fall. So again, it will likely be active early. But as we get into December, though, that's where we will likely be seeing cold and as well as snow late. So we will likely be seeing snowy and cold conditions late this fall. So just keep that in mind if you live in here in the northern plains. And then a little bit far down to the south, we got this red color right here showing severe weather. This is just overall, okay? And not all of this area has a very likely risk of seeing severe weather, but again, this is an area that we're most confident in severe weather to as well this fall. And even if it's not severe weather season during the month of fall, or during the season of fall rather, we could still very well be talking some severe weather events, especially because we'll be in between that warm air from the Gulf of Mexico surging in, and of course that cold air up to the north likely to move down to the south. So because that area is in between, we could very well be seeing severe weather events, even if it's not the second severe weather season during the fall season just yet. So October and even December could be some months to watch very closely for severe storms also, even though, we mainly see that during fall season. So make sure to keep that in mind, that we will likely see severe weather before and after the second severe weather season, which again is going to be during fall. And then a little bit farther up to the north, okay, this is where we really do expect there to be a lot of regular fall snow too as well, especially because you guys will be closer to Canada, okay, where it will make it really easy for that cold air to hit you guys, okay? Fall gets pretty cold early, so it will be really easy for you guys to also get hit by some of the cold. And this is likely where we're going to start out with some, typical fall snow, and then it will really start getting snowy late, especially across the Midwest and northern Ohio Valley, where those areas usually see snowfall a little bit later. But, like I said, we will likely see typical fall snow at first, but then, like I said, it's really going to start getting snowy for those areas in the lower elevation by the time we do head into December. Now, let's go ahead and move a little bit farther down to the south again. This is where we expect there to be storms, okay? So places like the mid-Atlantic will be an area to be watching for, and we aren't really concerned about severe weather this far or east, but we could definitely be catching a lot of thunderstorms, especially from the tropics, as a lot could develop off the coast, or we could even be seeing a lot of that from, the remains of Debbie, let's say, or the remains of just whatever names we have left on the 2024 hurricane season. So those will definitely be something to watch for this fall, as, like I said, we could definitely be seeing the remains of each system, especially if they're able to get a little bit closer to the East Coast. So that is going to be the reason why we will likely be seeing storms throughout fall. And then a little bit far down to the south, this is where we expect active tropics, including the potential for major severe storms. So this is going to be one of the most active areas this fall, I think, as we will likely see chances for hurricanes, tropical storms, depressions, and like I said, even major severe weather events too as well. So it's definitely going to be very active with the tropics tropics, and of course some very active and major severe weather events also do appear possible. Now, if we head a little bit farther to the west, okay, this will be our last area. This is where we expect there to be mild conditions, okay? So Texas heading into New Mexico, we will likely be more on the mild side of things. So that doesn't mean that we won't be mild. That just means, that overall we can expect mild conditions. So we will definitely need to be watching that area closely for some calmer conditions. But I do expect this area to kind of be embedded in that second severe weather season this fall. So even though we expect it to be mild overall, we could still catch some severe weather events as the Panhandle of Texas and even some areas in Texas are at least included in a chance of severe weather. So again, we will be watching for mild conditions across Texas overall, but like I said, we could very well catch a few major severe weather events this fall season. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy my fall forecast. We will be doing a winter forecast more than likely sometime next month. So I hope you guys will be staying tuned for that, which, is going to be in a few weeks. So again, stay tuned for that as I will keep you guys updated on this winter also. But like I said, I hope you guys did like my fall forecast, and thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel. That is absolutely appreciated. And of course, don't forget to like down below, and of course comment if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about this fall. That would definitely be a great thing to leave down below. But again, thank you guys very much for watching and subscribing, and I hope you guys do have a great weekend.